It is Thursday here on iCritique. We are on episode number 9, and we actually have I think we have about 8 photos here, correct? We have 8 photos here that we're going to go through. I'll tell you the gear that this photographer is using, and we have an interesting and awesome set of some street images, some architects, some detailed shots that I think can really help everyone out, and especially some things that you can improve on. But here is a quick set. Bam, let's jump right into it. We have a pretty set of solid images for this iCritique number 9 by Armand, and he really does have a great viewpoint, and the great thing is he's not using the best gear in the world. He's using more of the entry-level basic stuff, and he's still getting great shots with some of the things that he's got. So within this set, you're going to see him using the Canon 500D, which is the Rebel T1i, and the 650D, which is the Canon T4i, and he's going to use the 10-24 lens. You're going to see the 51.8 version 2. You're going to see the 18-55 kit lens and the 28 to, I think it was a 105 or 135 lens. So you're going to see things, and once again, it's not the best gear in the world, but it doesn't matter. It's all about the eye. It's all about the viewpoint. So one of the first things we have here, we have a nice wide angle, and you can tell it's wide angle because it's a little distorted. You're getting a little, bending shape of an awesome building that I'm not exactly sure where it's from or anything like that, but to me it kind of looks like Italian-esque or something like that. Once again, not sure, taking a really stab there, but I like it. To me, it's more or less just a nice little building shot. It's got some detail. I feel like you could bring in a lot more detail, especially with the sky. Maybe, up the clarity a little bit, or do some work with the sky to make it a little more epic. I don't mind the sepia-ish brown tone, but I think your next shot will be much stronger. As I said, I took a look ahead, but with something like this, there's just a lot going on down here. It's just kind of that kind of touristy type of shot, and I don't know. If it was, I guess, more or less just a building, it would be a stronger shot, but I'm guessing where that is, that's almost impossible. Sorry, ads keep popping up, so I'm going to cut them out of there if you see some jump cuts, so I'm not advertising with them. But I like this better, and from what I see, I think this is the same spot, but taken from a different angle, and I actually like this angle better because you get a lot more. It's not just straight up, once again, I know that this wasn't just straight on, but you see more of what's going on, especially on the side streets. It fills the frame a lot better. So I feel like this photo is better. Once again, you're getting that wide angle effect, which works fine. It works great. If anything, I would have cropped it a little tighter and lost a lot of this over here because you have some things hanging on the corner and everything like that. Once again, I noticed your watermark because it is kind of big as well. I would definitely, listen, if someone's going to steal your photo, easily gone, especially with the building. They cut it off here, bam, gone. Make it a little smaller if you really want to watermark it, but other than that, I won't jump into that too much. But your black and white editing on this is strong, and I really, really like it. Once again, I think you can bring up the clarity just a little more, but for pretty much what it is, being a wide angle, I wish you got a little more out of the sky as well. That would really make a dramatic and impactful, shot out of this. And you could go through, I guess, in post and go through and, and edit and bring up the clarity, or you could use some kind of filter and bring it out. But just in general, with something like this, I think the black and white is really, really nice. Yeah, I think it's really good, and let's just keep moving on. So we have, this was interesting when I saw it. I love the textures you have here, to be honest. I think this was taken with the T4i, but I really do like the texture here. I like the crack, there's a lot in this that does work, and I think it does get kind of soft for some reason, on the outside, so I don't know exactly what's going on there, but I like the image. Maybe, I guess I wish it was just a little wider as well, so you could see a little bit more of the outside here. I don't know if that's being too picky, but it's interesting because it just kind of has a juxtaposition with human animal type of thing, like human versus nature, what's winning. Yeah, I like it. I would love to see this on a full black and white too as well, because it kind of looks mucky and stuff like that with the brown right here and it being wet or something. So I think a black and white would have been strong here. But overall, I think it's an interesting shot. Maybe it's a little too bright here. Maybe bring the exposure down a little bit. It just looks a little too hot here. But other than that, good shot. Okay, I think this was taken with the 51.8. Well, I mean, first of all, it really does draw your attention, but my problem with this image is it has the bullseye effect, meaning it's dead center. So I see how you incorporated another flower down here. I do like the lighting on it. I think if you mess with the black levels a little bit more, you get a little more texture and detail out of it. But I have a feeling if you put this more to the right side of the frame and included maybe a little angle down, and you include a little bit more of this, it would give a little more context and would fill the frame better. If not, I guess fill it even closer. But the 51.4, it's not a macro lens, so I know you can't do that. So with something like this, I like it. Your watermark actually really kind of distracts me because it's white on a black background. You know, it's something like this. This is an example where it does kind of hurt the image. But I feel like it could have been composed a little better. Maybe lower the exposure a little bit and up the blacks, and it would be a stronger shot. It doesn't look like it's in full focus to me either, so be careful with that. Focus might be just on a little front, but be careful with something like that. Okay, long exposure night shot. You're doing some light painting. The problem with this image is it just honestly doesn't work, Armand. The hard thing is getting focus. I think you were doing this with yourself. I think that might be you. I'm obviously not 100% sure, but there was definitely some movement. So maybe you were taking it with a friend. Let me see what shutter speed you were at. So let's go to your EXIF info. You were at, let's see, 13. Oh, so you were at 13 seconds. So you are going to see a lot of camera movement, especially if you're budging or something went wrong to where it knocked it or just didn't work, because you're seeing the ghosting, the shifting effect of, you know, of motion. You're seeing a lot of motion blur. So for me, it just doesn't work here. There's a ton of sky. I do like the idea that you went to use the negative space in the bottom right, but there just needs to be more. It needs to be a sharp image. Other than that, this is just kind of a test shot. So if you get something really sharp, something really awesome, you know, but other than that, this just doesn't do a ton for me, to be honest. I like this. See, look, your watermark's better. I wish it was even smaller, but yeah. But beside that, the bokeh on this is amazing. Let's see what lens you were using on this one. This was your 51.8. Yeah, the plastic, fantastic. I like it. It's extremely simple. You know, it's not dead center per se. And, I mean, there's not much to say about it. The editing's really nice on this. The bokeh, as I said, is beautiful. It's blown out. The compression's really nice. And, you know, just something simple like this, it works. You know, it could be kind of fine art-esque. I know you're not probably going for fine art, but I feel like it could really work, you know, for something like that. So I really like this one a lot. And I think we have two more. So we have more of a candid, I guess, old school type of thing. I don't know if this is one where you go and like you dress up as the old ones, you can get a photo taken type of thing. But I feel like it's kind of like a reenactment of the old times, except for the Ray-Ban glasses that they probably didn't have back then. But, you know, something like this, it works. If anything, it's hard. Once again, I don't mind the foreground here with the guitar going in. I'm glad it's not like clipping her face or anything. I do like the sepia tone. It works. It's perfect. If anything, get a little wider or tighter so that way you're filling him, you know, you're filling them more in the frame here, because he kind of distracts a little bit on the left and you do have some room on the right. So I would do something like that. So it would be a little tighter, or shoot a little wider, get more of the frame. But I really like this candid moment you captured between them. The emotion's great, and you can tell that there's some kind of relationship between them. Hopefully not brother and sister, but I like the shot. Maybe a little tighter, could pose it differently, or just get a little wider. Other than that, I think it's a good little candid shot. Lastly but not leastly, we have one of your last detail shots on the last thing of the portfolio, and it's just basically a record player, the record, and the needle sitting on top of the threads, and I really like it. Usually I'm not a fan of any kind of like, you know, cheesy overlays or something like that, but the vintagey kind of scratchy really works with this. And I think this was your 51.8 lens as well. That's why you're getting a really shallow depth of field here. You know, here's your focal plane here, and then it falls off back there. It works for me. Kind of the grainy look really works. The desaturated tone works a little bit. Maybe it's a little overexposed on the orange. I think if you drop the detail, if you drop the exposure a little bit, it would work a little more. And especially maybe if you up the blues, especially your cyan, your light blue saturation a little bit, this would pop even more. But for something simple like this, I like it. Maybe a little too much room. There's not much else I could say about this, but I think it's just it's a cool shot to have. Once again, it has the fine art vibe to me. You know, something really, really cool and interesting. Eric Rossi, the guy with the eye. Thank you everyone for watching. Armand actually has a really good set of strong images here. So just a couple things that he can touch on, but you know, really great eye for detail using what he has to get some awesome shots and some awesome moments. That really candid shot was really awesome as well. But if you guys want to send in your images, send them to eric@ericrossi.com. Hopefully you can put them in a Flickr set, maybe of just your 5 best images, and we can go from there. And yeah, shoot me that link, and then when you do that as well, just add into your email that I have permission to critique them on YouTube. So let's do it. Have fun. In the following week, we will bring back number 10.